Hey everybody, it's GombletX, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be playing our final Chromatic Cube draft of this return trip of the cube. Without further ado, let's just get into the Pack 1 Pick 1. As always, tons of incredible options of where to go, but I really want to play a Field of the Dead deck every time that the Chromatic Cube comes back, and so because this is my last draft of the format, I'm going to go ahead and scoop it up here. Try to make tons of zombies by playing a big 5-color deck with tons of different lands with different names, and hopefully we can even find Primeval Titan or Golos to tutor this land out and shove it on the board. So it's going to be a really sweet way to start if we can find the ways to search that up. Pick number 2. There's no really good cards for a Field of the Dead deck here, because there's no like Triomes or really good mana, but the Darkboar Pathway would still be a fine pick. There's also nothing to tutor up lands, or any particularly powerful multicolored spells to be splashing around for. A weirdly monocolored pack for the Chromatic Cube. Guess I'm just going to take the Pathway, but the Curator would be reasonable as well. Alright, here we are for pick 3. This is a mana dork that can cast anything, not just creature spells, so Loam Speaker seems like a decent option. We also have Cold Steel Heart, the 2-mana rocks being really nice. We have okay lands, no Triome here, anything super important. Ooh, they put Tooth and Nail on Arena? 9 mana is a lot, but with the best 2 creatures in your deck onto the battlefield can often just win the game. That's pretty cool. Virtue of Persistence is both early removal and a big finisher, so that card's really sweet as well. Probably Virtue, Loam Speaker, or Cold Steel Heart here, and I really like 2-mana rocks. I'm going to take the Cold Steel Heart. It's like a Loam Speaker that can't be killed by removal. At least not as consistently, not as easily. There's another 2-mana rock that would be very reasonable. But Binding the Old Gods gets to play as both your removal spell and your ramp spell, and it's ramp that fixes you if you make sure to draft forests that have other land types as well, like Triomes and Shock lands and stuff. I really like Binding the Old Gods. For 5-color. Alright, Watery Grave is okay. Shock lands are some of the best non-basic lands on Arena, or in the cube. I like that a good bit. Vraska's a very solid planeswalker. Prismari Command is pretty flexible removal. Memory Deluge is huge card draw. It's a really solid pack, but I'm going to take the Shock land for sure. Ooh, World Tree is a really good land to tutor up with any of the cards that tutor out a land, because then you can have whatever colors you need. Nicol Bolas is cool, but actually really hard to cast in 5-color. Triple black is difficult, so I'm sorry, my king. We're going to go World Tree here. Pick 7. We could build around a Gyruda. Currently, we have nothing but even mana values, so having that option as a backup plan is actually pretty cool. We'll take the Gyruda. Probably not playing it in the companion slot, but if the draft keeps going how it is right now, it could end up in the companion slot. We'll see. Pretty unlikely, but possible. There's a Triome. That's a very high pickup, trying to play 5-color splashy stuff. Essica, God of the Tree, is pretty fun and pretty sweet for a 5-color build. If you have double green at the ready, you can cast her to help fix your mana, but you can also cast her as the Prismatic Bridge to start casting, well, start dumping creatures and planeswalkers onto the board for free later. Pick 10. I am not really interested in any of this for this kind of deck. I guess I'll take a little Flicker effect, because we'll probably have some good enter the battlefield stuff. Temple of Enlightenment looks okay here. I guess Dream Eater would fit into the deck if we go for the Gyruda, but the Essica won't, so we're probably not going for the Gyruda. Okay, that's cool. I'm taking Darigaz over the dual land there. You get a random dragon into exile, and it comes on the board 3 turns from there. It hatches from Nag. That's so cool. I'm definitely drafting that. We're shoving that in here if we don't play Gyruda in the companion. Which again, Gyruda's good enough, you don't need him in the companion slot. Invasion of Telvanni is a pretty good one to flicker. And just to cast in general. Do I take it over Vraska? Probably. I'm just going to go no interaction this time, just all blowouts, if we can. I guess I still have, like, Binding the Old Gods, which is interaction and ramp. There's that. Okay, if we see a pick like this, we can take interaction, I guess. Pack 2, pick 1. There is no Golos. There is no Primeval Titan. There is only sadness. Red and 7's fine. Faber Elder's cute for 5 color. Wormcoil's fine. Bunch of fine stuff. I think Faber is the coolest for a 5 color deck. Pack 2, pick 2. Decent lands, but nothing great there. Very solid mana dork with Armored Scrap Gorger. Or some removal spell on a stick creatures like Inferno Titan and Ravenous Chupacabra. I guess Inferno Titan's an even mana value if we randomly mill it off of Gyruda, which is cool. Pick 3, there's Extinction Event, which is an even mana value board wipe. Ooh, there's a clever impersonator, though. So if we do play all evens, then this could be a respin of the Gyruda enter the battlefield effect, even though it's also going to be legendary, just like Gyruda is. It's going to trigger the ability again. Okay, hold up. 1, 2, 3. I guess there's 5 odd cards right now. It would be real difficult to be both a Gyruda deck and a Field of the Dead deck at the same time, but it would also be really cool. So I'm tempted. We've only got 1 mana rock for Kinnan right now, but if we get enough, Kinnan can be pretty crazy. Yeah, I like that. Get that green-blue duel now. Because we have 3 blue cards and 2 green cards right now, and green is often more of a core color for Field of the Dead style strategies that want to find a bunch of extra lands. Can't play Giganta and Gyruda as the companion. And Giganta is super hard to get in the companion slot in Chromatic Cube, so I don't think we're doing that. Cyber Siphoner's fine. This dual land is fine. Not much else that looks really good. I'll just take the dual land. Feed the Swarm. Terra Sunder are fine removal spells. Chandra's fun for like a blue-red spells deck. You get to start immediately doubling up your instant sorceries just as long as she's on the board, which is pretty crazy. Doesn't make a lot of sense for this deck. Try to Niv-Miz it, and then we're not trying to Gyruda anymore. I'm just going to take Terra Sunder for interaction. Shark Typhoon works too, just as a shark, but I'm going to grab removal. Get a Cataracts. Gives us whatever mana we need once we have enough lands. Horned Lockwhale is both a big creature to reanimate off of Gyruda and an early removal spell. Slow our opponent down. That seems nice and flexible. Price of Fame is the even mana value here. I kind of wish I actually just locked in and tried to go for this Gyruda earlier, because now that I've started doing it now, I'm like, this does not seem that hard to find an all-evens deck in Cube. Because all the cards are just so good, you can just take the even mana value ones, and you'll still be taking pretty good cards. All right, pack 3, pick 1. Cityscape Leveler is an even mana value card Gyruda could hit if we're really lucky. There's removal here. There's solid lands. Buried in the Garden is removal and ramp, which is super cool. Whatever. I'm all in on Gyruda to wrap this thing up. Let's grab the Cityscape Leveler. Reanimate that off of Gyruda if we're super lucky. Ooh, we could reanimate a Galta off Gyruda. And then if I have more of our really ridiculously expensive cards in hand, we just dump them all on board. That is an 8 mana value spell. Sure. Sure. I forgot to be taking mana rocks to go with Kennen, but whatever. I'm taking Galta. The Golos! The Golos to tutor out the field to make it so much more consistent. Friendship ended with Gyruda, now Golos is my best friend. Oh, why does Golos have to be an odd mana value? Alright. Well, here we are. Grab a Kami War. Or a Wayfarer's Bauble actually seems really good in this deck as well, because the mana's just so wild. No shot I can cast a Genesis Ultimatum in 5 color. I'm gonna Bauble. I actually have a lot of big stuff already. The Surgical Metamorph for another thing that copies Gyruda? Well, if we ever draw into the Gyruda naturally, it's going to be insane. And I could still not Golos. I might not have enough non-land cards without the odd mana value stuff here, because I took so many lands to go with the Field of the Dead. 10 of these are lands, so we have 16 non-lands that are even mana value. So I need to take the next like 6 or 7 picks, need to all be even mana value if I want to do Gyruda loops with Metamorph and Clever Impersonator stuff. So Dragon's Horde can ramp with Kennen, but Nightmare Shepherd can make a 1/1 Gyruda, and Twining Twins can flicker Gyruda, and Roaming Throne can double Gyruda's ETB. I don't know. I'm going to take Roaming Throne. What do we got now? Gigantic Magma Opus for 1 million? Or just like an Ugin here, no matter what's going on with our mana. If we've got 6 of it, we got removal. Kind of like that.
Every exploit ripples through time. Be mindful.
One with the Multiverse is so much mana, but it also seems kind of insane. Take that. We're just going to go really, really big on this one. Oh, there's Ornithopter Paradise to go with Kennen. Gilded Lotus and the Iron Crag go with Kennen, but the Iron Crag is the only even mana value card that goes with Kennen. I guess the green-black Mana Dork would work as well, but that one's also pretty hard to cast. Kennen does add colorless, right? Yeah, any type, so the Iron Crag will be double mana. Goose Mother is playable here. And Thalia Getrog is playable here. Go Goose Mother. Big X mana spell. Elite Card Mage for card draw. Whirler Rogue, just no counterspells, no interaction. Twining Twins to flicker Gyruda. And random Snapcaster Mage because I need more non-land cards. How many cards do I get to cut? 3. If I'm going even mana value. Means 2, actually, because Gyruda's in the companion slot. Well, Snapcaster makes sense. As a cut. Whirler Rogue doesn't do much for the deck. Difficult mana costs in here, but whatever. We have a Gyruda and a Dream. Sure. I don't even want to adjust the lands. I don't want to deal with this nonsense. But I really should. Oh, boy, what does the mana look like? 'Cause just blue is really important, green's pretty important. Blue is by far the most important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 blue and a cataract. Green, we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'd rather have 7 blue, 4 green. Because I don't need to ever try to actually cast Galta. Just try to Gyruda that, and if I draw it, whatever. RIP Galta. Got a double black and a double red card in this deck. We've got 2 red sources, 3 natural red sources. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 natural black sources. Yeah, I think just add a little bit more to the blue, and that's gotta be good enough. Whatever. Good enough. If you couldn't tell from the draft, this is at the end of a very long recording session today. This is like the 6th, maybe 7th draft I've recorded today. And I just want to get over it. I just want to get out of the format now. I'm good. I got the Chromatic Cube out of my system. But we are ending it with kind of a bang. Not often you are both a Gyruda deck and a Field of the Dead deck, but here we are. But I also don't really care about the results here. I'm just going to cast the stuff and see what happens. Not think it over too hard. I think we curve out. Already got tons of huge stuff late game. There goes binding. Man, we kind of just scoop to blue in this cube, don't we? Because there's a bunch of really high impact counter spells that people like playing. And like companions are just miserable against counter spells. Because your opponent just knows, like, it's revealed the whole time. You're going to put it in your hand. No, we're not supposed to draw the Metamorph. We're supposed to mill the Metamorph. Let's mill everybody over and over. There's O'Hare. Instant sorceries in your hand gain rebound. Okay. Guess this is better than just casting a Twining Twins right now. Oh shoot, this thing could copy lands? Any permanent on the battlefield? Okay, that's kind of crazy. I did not realize this one's better than the Phyrexian Metamorph that's only artifacts or creatures. I should have just copied a land. Oh, they had the Banishing Light too. Extra punished. Now they just get to hold up Counterspell because they know we're on Gyruda next turn, and we lose because we're playing against blue. Yep, I can't not cast something here. I guess I can Dream Eater during their end step to force them to counter something during the end step, and then the mana's tapped out for Gyruda. Dream Eater was a really good draw against blue. It's like one of the few things we can do to try to actually do something against counters.
I've learned much during my travels. Let me show you. Keep watch for intruders. I've got new moves to teach you.
Alright, you need to counter this. Yep. That's pretty nasty. They just cast it for free immediately. Ripperoni then. Oh, they can even hold on to it. Alright. Game 2. Alright, here we are on the play for game 2. We can try to Roaming Throne Gyruda. It's a demon kraken. I don't think I have any other demons or krakens in the deck. But I can try to do the thing. Unfortunately, I drew the Galta, so there's no way we're going to reanimate Galta with Gyruda. That's a bummer, too. Alright, here we go. Oh, we drew the Clever Impersonator, so that's not going to get Gyruda out either. I have blue, red, white, green. Let's get our first black, I guess. And that's enough to cast Gyruda. There's a blue and a black. I guess maybe second blue would be better with Impersonator in hand. Bunch of tap lands here. World Tree, Gyruda to hand. Krenko. Uh-oh. They're getting aggressive. I'm gonna choose Kraken because it's funnier. They don't have the counterspell in their hand. They gotta be like, oh no. If they do, then I can't really do anything. If they hold all the mana up, we have to just like cast a Goose Mother, I guess. I mean, I could Clever Impersonator the Roaming Throne. If they hold all this mana up, so they have to counter the Impersonator or just hold up the mana still. Okay, they don't have the counter. They just send a Wrinkle in, make everybody sack a creature, and stop the Roaming Throne. That's still sad, but at least they don't get to counter Gyruda. Man, that's our Rankle too. Super rude. That's actually an incredibly good hit. For Clone Crafter, because Clone Crafter gives you the creature to sack. Alright, well. Young Pyro, or Rankle, Guard Mage, or Metamorph. Let's spin again. Oh, I could make a second Field of the Dead. That's cool too, but I'm just gonna spin again. Warzone Duplicator. Return a creature opponent controls with power less than its power to its owner's hand. If the creature wasn't a token, conjure a duplicate into your hand. That's pretty good. What did we hit? Nothing. Okay. We take that then. Now we both have a Rankle. And they just pass with 1,000,000 mana up, so we just hit for 12 and pass. Bounce the Duplicator. Okay, we can recast that against 1 open mana. Oh, that goes to their hand. Well, that explains that. Play. Yeah, because Gyruda isn't an alchemy card, so it inherently sucks. Only alchemy cards are good now. The alchemy cards and their duplicates, so they get around that kind of thing. Well, now we know they don't have a counter here, so... we can... This is on black, right? Yeah, we can cast a 4-mana spell and still Price of Fame the Krenko or their Rankle. I don't really want to impersonate our Gyruda. Don't hate impersonating another Field of the Dead, because that gets toward our Galta. Any non-land permanent? Why do all the clones have to be different? It's so confusing. If I decline this as a 0/0 and it dies, it's already too late. It's on the stack. Well, I can take Cold Steel Heart towards Galta still, but I can't double Field the Dead with this clone specifically. Alright. Blue, red, white, green. Actually, with the World Tree, I really don't think it matters. Get another green just in case, because I'm going towards a triple green card. Welcome back, Rankle. I guess we'll Price of Fame you instead. That's the land we need to cast Galta next turn. Do it. Let's go! Woo! But it's just a Rankle. But hey, we got a 12/12. 12/12 trample. Champion of Wits, draw 2, discard 2. Oh, discard Avison's Judgment, kill a Rankle. Fine. A 12/12 trample is big enough. We might just be lethaling them here. If we kill Krenko, then we are just lethaling them. So let's do it. Yep. Trample over for lethal. We are now 1-1 heading into game 3. Alright, here we are on the play for game 3. Gonna try to do some Gyruda nonsense. As we're pretty much always gonna do when Gyruda's in the companion zone. Playing against the blue-white so far, they have Street Fighter sleeves too. I don't remember when that happened. I didn't know they put those on Arena. Kinda sweet. Okay, second blue source or second red source are both a pretty big deal here. I'm gonna go for the blue, because that can lead into a clever impersonator, which ramps us even more. And then the impersonator can copy the Cold Steel Heart and be the second red. Virtue of Loyalty, get a 2/2, sure. So, get the second red here. We hit an untapped land, we can Inferno Titan next turn. If we don't, we can just put like Gyruda into hand and play a Field of the Dead, which also seems reasonable. The Inferno Titan definitely seems like the better line though. We can find the mana. Well, never mind. At least they slammed that down before we put Gyruda in hand. Although even if we had Gyruda in hand, Inferno Titan would be the better card for them to exile regardless. Aw, we even hit the untapped mana. That's sad. Well, the untapped mana is irrelevant for us right now. We either guard mage... I mean, I guess we Could play the untapped land and play Ugin, but Ugin without the blockers to keep him around is just not good. If I plus, they're going to attack him in the sky. If I minus, they're just going to kill him with a 2/2. Let's just skip the turn. Let's put the Gyruda in hand here. Set that up. Flicker their elite spellbinder with Touch the Spirit Realm to make Gyruda cost 8 now. Oh boy. So we're gonna cast nothing all game at this rate. They don't blow up any of our mana. We can cast Gyruda or Inferno Titan next turn. But they also have 5 mana up now for the potential 5 mana counters. Nope, Mirari's Wake is the play, which is also kind of nasty now. Inferno Titan doesn't wipe their board anymore. Which was going to be the play. Inferno Titan kill both their creatures. Would have been nice. Since Inferno Titan doesn't wipe the board anyway, probably Gyruda. Actually, we might Ugin the Mirari's Wake. Because this is really bad if they untap with 10 mana minimum, 12 if they play another land. Just a bunch of things that could go massively badly for us against that much mana. Just get rid of Mirari's Wake.
I can create or destroy.
Ironcrag. And a Wojak Investigator. Here we go, it looks like, honestly. Just here we go. Gyruda is the better play here because Inferno Titan just kills a 2/2. I guess I could attack with Goose Mother and post-combat Inferno Titan away the Investigator if they block. But when this 2/2 dies, we're gonna pop off with Kin, and I could Inferno Titan my own 2/2, but I want to have the 7-up after that anyway. Yeah, let's just Gyruda. They hit absolutely nothing. Well, that is sad. We hit our Rankle here. It's not actually that good. We just take another 6/6, I think. Double up the 6/6s. I'm going to keep this in hand, because if I play a different named land, then I'm going to get a 2/2 zombie, and then I'm going to get a 2/2 zombie off this mountain later as well. Vigilant attack towards the Ugin. Just bounce right off. Okay, there's World Tree. We start getting zombies here. Guess I should have done Ugin first, because now they stopped me from getting another token. A little sad. We're just jamming, right? Oh boy, we get a Kinnan to hand! You know what that means? I can play Kinnan. Kinnan immediately pays for themselves, because then I can Iron Crag, and then I can Inferno Titan, I can kill the Investigator and shoot them for 2. Or shoot them for 1, sorry. Boom. Show me the board wipe or perish. Our opponent has chosen to perish. We are now 2-1. Positive record so far, heading into game number 4. Alright, here we are for game whatever at this point. Opponent's on the play, we are on the draw. Our mana doesn't look very good here in terms of casting the spells currently in the hand, but Cascading Cataracts is going to fix for whatever we need once we have 6 lands. And we do have access to one of our removal spells no matter what with the Price of Fame. And obviously we always have access to the 3 mana to Companion Garuda. If I put Garuda in hand next turn, I actually have to discard the hand size. That's kind of rough. Hey, there we go. Watery Grave is a good color. Mana. Getting the blue source here. Again, if I Garuda to hand, I have to discard the hand size, so I'm just going to play this untapped so I can bounce with the Lock Whale. I really shouldn't have played Cataracts. You don't want to play that until it's like your last land. Because I could have just slammed down Goose Mother instead of going for the Lagoon Breach here. I think that would have been better for the turn. Okay. You can put Garuda in hand and play Roaming Throne next turn still, setting up for the double trigger. Cavalier of Flame threatens to do a lot of damage on the swing next turn. We might want to Price of Fame instead. Give up on the double Garuda and save Roaming Throne for whatever other nonsense we draw. Maybe like a Titan or something would be decent. Yeah, I think this is just threatening way too much damage. I'm just going to kill that. Don't want mana rocks at this point. Aurelia also threatens a ridiculous amount of damage. Actually just as much, slightly less, so 6 damage by yourself. If we hadn't killed the Cavalier, we would actually be exactly dead right now. I would have had to have trumped with the Roaming Throne here. Okay, so basically we need Garuda to hit some kind of removal or we're gonna die. Or at least a flying chump blocker. But we don't have any way in this hand to kill Aurelia. I could flicker her for a turn, casting Roaming Throne, so I can double Garuda later. No, I don't have a natural white source. So I'd have to filter mana through Cascading Cataracts, which means I can't spend 6 here. I'd have to spend 5. Yeah, no, we just Garuda and pray. Tajik does not do it. So we metamorph the Aurelia, I guess. And that's our blocker. It's better than another random spin, probably. They can block the first attack, but the second time we would trade if they block again. So it is worth the swing. We will get some amount of damage in. I want a theory craft about what happens if we're somehow alive and they haven't interacted with anything on our board, but that is so immensely unlikely that I probably shouldn't, because I'll just be sad when I don't get to roaming throne double Aurelia or anything like that. Just trying to think like how much damage that kind of stuff would be, but I'm like, it doesn't matter, they're not gonna stay. Yeah, there goes Aurelia. We take 6 in the sky. Find Inferno Titan? That doesn't actually work because it does 3 damage, not 4, and I'd have to tap out for it because I need to get mana from Cascading Cataracts to have double red. If I can survive, I can Roaming Throne on Giants and do it next turn. But I can't. I mean, I guess I could Twining Twins the Aurelia. Wait, no, I can't, because I have to use Cascading Cataract to get white, which means I would tap out for Throne and not have the white for the Twins anymore. So it's probably Flicker Gyruda with the Twins and play Roaming Throne. Oops, I wanted to leave another red up so I could technically like Inferno Titan here. Okay, so Throne holding up white on Demon this time. Flicker Gyruda. So 2 shots at a flying blocker. Missed on my grave on that one. Got Young Pyro. And then I got Cityscape Leveler. Oh, or Elite Guard Mage. Cityscape Leveler is like big, but I need the Flying Trumper or I'm dead, so it has to be Elite Guard Mage. Okay. Unearthed Cityscape Leveler is the removal for Aurelia if we top deck a land. That'll destroy Aurelia and give them a Power Stone instead. Charming Prince. Oh my god, I hate... Okay, they're gonna use it on Cavalier anyway. I was gonna say, I just realized they can steal back their Young Pyro. I guess we don't have anything really good of theirs for them to flicker, but I hate that Charming Prince can exile something that you own, not something you own and control. So if your opponent has rooted out one of your cards, you can just steal it back with Charming Prince. Werefox Bodyguard, kill the Chumper, we take 6. Okay. Still gained the life to not die here. There's Cavalier, destroy Gyruda. That's untapped mana. We can Cityscape Leveler the Aurelia away and leave up a bunch of blockers on the ground. Feels like the best bet. Actually, I can exile Aurelia for 4 and cast something else in the same turn. Is it better to Terra Sunder and Goose Mother for the turn or something? That would give us more chump blockers because Young Pyromancer would trigger. Yeah, let's get pretty chumpy here, I think. It's Twining Twins, so we can't die to a flying haste threat. Alright. Okay. 2 and 2. Get fireballed in the face. To even things out. Alright. We're ramping again. I can't metamorph the Iron Crag, so I can't like do the double ramp metamorph thing here, but we are still ramping a little bit, and we always have the Garuda in hand. So any hand with a little mana rock is going to make me pretty interested. Also, this Tribal Flame is going to be 4 damage for 2 mana. I can stop their mana ramp and then play 2 mana rocks next turn. The Iron Crag and Cold Steel Heart together. Kind of like that. Alright, they get to keep the Ornithopter here. Iron Crag and Cold Steel on green towards Kinnan, and then Kinnan's going to be just wild amounts of mana. Can keep all these rocks. And obviously, if we can keep Kinnan as well, they've got a lot of red mana, so they can probably blow up Kinnan eventually. So, Kinnan first, so that the Iron Crag is 2 mana. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, or 5 if I play Hollowed Fountain. So play Hollowed Fountain to hold up Lagoon Breach, but we metamorph the Darigaz? Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Ogla and Yadaro, which fights our Darigaz. Rough. Well, there goes both the Darigazes. And they have a 7/7 to deal with. I mean, I guess they just recast theirs. Although if I have the mana, I could get rooted here. I think I need an untapped land to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, if I had an untapped land, I could put Gyruda in hand and do it, but I am 1 mana off. I'm also 1 mana off from activating Kinnan and casting Price of Fame on this Kogliadar on the same turn. Shoot. Field of the Dead coming to play tapped is super painful here. How many cards deep do I look? I look 5 cards deep. Whatever, I'm gonna gamble, I think. I guess I can postpone the gamble. Do it when they're declaring an attack so I can surprise 12/12 Gall to them if I'm really lucky. Surprise 12/12 Galta, let's go! Oh, 8/8 works too. Goodbye, King Kong. Can't quite beat Megatron now, can you? They've got a lot of dragons in exile, though. Alright, so I can Gyruda here. Or I can Price of Fame and activate Kinnan. I feel like Price of Fame plus activate Kinnan's a little better. I guess Leveler was already going to kill their thing. But hey, Kinnan's fun. Oh, it's Galta! Oh wait, the whale's not in my hand. But I could put a 12/12 on board. Somehow feel like Inferno Titan's better. Alright, let us see what their dragon is. Gotta be pretty dang good here. Shivan Dragon. Summoning 6 Shivan Dragon, that's fine. No, they get to exile Cityscape Leveler, so we can't level the dragon, but they have to chump block Inferno Titan or they're incredibly dead. I guess it's not a chump block because they have the 1 red mana up. Okay. Yeah, so Shivan Dragon trades into Inferno Titan. Here. I think I have to Garuda post-combat, or Inferno Titan isn't actually threatening lethal on board. Not quite. Hits for 8. Oh, but it shoots them for 3. Yeah, it's still threatening lethal. Yeah, we Garuda pre-combat in case of haste then. Because it's an 8 power creature and we can shoot them for 3 just by declaring the attack. Did we find haste? We found Prosper, Roaming Throne, or Guard Mage. Oh, Roaming Throne, the Inferno Titan might do it. Yeah, there's the concession from our opponent. So we say Inferno Titan on Giants. Then we do 3 to Shivan Dragon, 2 to Shivan Dragon, 1 to face, and that's exact lethal. If doubling up the enter the battlefield, doubling up the triggered ability lets me divide the damage differently each time. Some of these, if it says like copy the triggered ability, sometimes you have to do the same targets, so we'd have to just do 3 to dragon, 3 to dragon. But I don't actually know how Roaming Throne works with that. Yeah, it's not copying the ability on the stack, it's having the ability trigger a second time, which means that we will get to split it up differently. Instead of making just a duplicate copy of the initial targets, it's a second trigger that we get to split up differently, and we do have exact lethal on board off of that. Off of Roaming Throne on Giants. We get to go 3 to Shivan Dragon, then 2 to Dragon, 1 to face. They're at 8. We hit for 8 with these. And I guess it's more than exact lethal, right? Because even if we didn't, we had the fire breathing that I completely forgot about because I got excited about Roaming Throne. All right. That was explosive and dumb, and that is what Chromatic Cube is all about. And as such, we are now at a positive record, although 50-50 if we lose the next round. But I'll take it. We're 3-2 heading into game 6. Pretty lucky being on the play really frequently, because we are on the play again. I need to play Cataracts, even though I kind of don't want to, just because I need an untapped mana here to play Ornithopter of Paradise. Uh-oh. We need to draw into some more mana pretty consistently, or we could have some issues. Our opponent is really ramping up, but they're also mono white, weirdly enough. Ooh, we hit the mana. It's 5 mana this turn. Still not quite enough. We need to draw another land. If they play like anything in the world, I'm gonna Price of Fame it. So I'm not gonna cast Twining Twins just so I can Price of Fame anything they put on their board to surveil and make sure we hit an untapped land for next turn. Elesh Norn, good enough. And we really need to kill that, where she's just going to stop Garuda's ability anyway. So, Price of Fame. Boop. Surveil 2. Find mana. That's a tapped mana. Might honestly still be worth it to keep a tapped mana. But I'm a greed man. Well, no, that's literal Field of the Dead. Let's not be that greedy. I was like, let's greed my way into the basic. I probably would mill that if it was any other, like, dual land or triumph that just always comes into play tapped, but because it's specifically Field of the Dead, almost definitely supposed to keep it. There's an Esper Sentinel. What happens when it's got a million charge counters on it? Seek a card with the highest mana value among cards. They just get their most expensive spell into their hand? Okay. Karn's actually kind of nasty here for the construct tokens. And Swift Spiral cannot exile token creatures, so we can't kill that right now. And this hit tokens? Yes. Horned Lockwhale can kill 1 token. 1 mana away from 1 with the Multiverse and Cityscape Leveler? That's going to be some big stuff. For now, let's Gyruda while holding a blocker up. We hit our Galta? Oh boy. Let's go! Free, keep the twins. Oh, the triple green card's actually perfect in this deck. Just gotta hit it off Gyruda when you've got your 8-drop creature in hand, too. Alright, they're seeking their most expensive spell. Hopefully their most expensive spell is not a board wipe. Seeked a 6 mana spell? A 6 mana spell. It's a Cityscape Leveler, okay. Oh, it happens when you cast it too, dang, so that kills ours. But then ours unearths and kills theirs, and it all balances out. Yeah, I need to unearth ours and kill theirs rather than playing one with the Multiverse here. It's just a lot safer, because if that declares an attack, it kills my 12/12 trample, and so on. We go face. I guess they could still unearth it and kill our Galta, but that costs all their mana next turn. Alright. Trade Galta into both the constructs. Oh. Okay. Turns out that's Xaxes. Little did they know, and little did I know. We just lethal them on board, and we're 4-2 now? Positive record with this deck? I mean, I was pretty tired and unenthused leaving the draft, as you probably could tell, but I guess explosive things are happening, and my most sleepwalking draft, I think, of the Chromatic Cubes is going to be a positive win rate one. We take those. Here we are on the play yet again. We have a double black Rankle. Black Terra Sunder as well we can't cast. We don't even have double blue for the twins. We don't have the white for the twins to flicker the Gyruda. I think this is a mulligan. This is way better mana. We get rid of the Galta because we just don't want it in our hand. Ever. This is still a awkward hand, actually. But definitely better. That's a good draw. I have to play a tap land this turn either way, so we'll play the field because the Dreamroot Cascade's untapped next turn. Binding the Old Gods. If I Ironcrag, I can Binding next turn, finding a forest for more ramp. Essica, God of the Tree. I will Binding that. I don't think we got any better green sources in this deck than just a forest. Or any better forests that we can tutor out than a basic forest with the binding. I don't think we got a green triome, but maybe we did. Nope, just the forests. This Vivian's an issue. They didn't get reach, so I can put her to 1 at least, but then she's just going to make another token. Not even that helpful. Better to just put the Gyruda in hand. Yeah, Charming Prince only exiles creatures, so I can't redo Binding the Old Gods with it. I think I just put Gyruda in hand here. If I Rankle Vivian for 3, then they can just +1, making a 3/3 reach, and I can't Rankle Vivian again next turn anyway. She's just still going to be around. Her -2 is really explosive too, though. Vivian's actually really scary. Yeah, here they go. They get a 6-drop creature and a 5-drop creature. Yeah. Maybe I should have sent in Rankle just to keep her off of the -2 for a turn or two. Find Roxanne. Get the meteorites for ramp here. That's pretty big. Alright, Gyruda, you gotta hit like perfectly here. I don't really have another play. It's any more likely to get us out of this. So what do you got? Elite Guard Mage. Oof, that's it. Complete miss from them. That's probably not enough then. Price of Fame unfortunately does not kill Planeswalkers. Vivian's kind of just going to keep popping off on us here.
We will adapt to.
This trade is not that good because they split out more Wormcoil tokens, plus I won't have the ability to try to flicker Gyruda for any value. So I kind of have to take this or chump it. Oh, the Voracious Hydra to fight Gyruda anyway. Okay. You got me on this one. I do not think we can survive next turn. We definitely can't, like, turn things around. But is there any way to even just not take lethal here? I could Rankle the Vivian, but I need to deal with immediate threats that are damaging me right now. Which means I need to Price of Fame Roxanne or Voracious Hydra. If I Price of Fame Roxanne, it's kind of like stopping 6, because Roxanne hits for 4, the Meteorite hits for 2, and that way I only spend 2 mana on that. I still have 4 mana up. I can use that 4 mana to play 1 blocker that gains me 3 life and draws a card, and play another removal spell. So I'll have 2 blockers up, I'll be at 15. And I'll have another removal spell up, and there's no Roxanne anymore. 15 life. Chump, take 9. Yes, I technically barely survived, so we might as well go for it, right? Surveil before we draw the card off of the Elite Guard Mage Flicker. Or Triumph Titan seems actually pretty good here. I don't have any red. Any red at all. Okay, then no. Triumph's not horrible. It gets our way towards the Field of the Dead. Alright, I don't have time to, like, super think through stuff at this point. I should have attacked Vivian with the Guard Mage, though. I just saw the rope and I have no ropes left. I could have hit Vivian for 2 and then drew the card. I just ran out of rope time. Not that it really matters here, but maybe it would have. Maybe we did have a little chance to stabilize. It's definitely a lesser chance without knocking Vivian down to 1 loyalty, because now they can -2 Vivian again. Dang, that sucks, because I don't think I said it out loud, but I even thought about the guard mage attack Vivian, then flicker with Charming Prince, but then the rope showed up and it just deleted that from my memory real quick. I was like, we need to get through this. We need to click the buttons. Okay, probably doesn't matter against Titan of Industry, but we are extremely dead because we didn't hit Vivian. We were still very dead against Titan of Industry, I think. We just wouldn't be dead on board anymore. But they would still, like, blow up our Iron Crag and have a 7/7 trample and a 4/4 Rhino here. And it's like, how on earth do we not die to that the turn after this? I think the answer is we don't. We don't not die to that. Alright. GG's. 4 and 3 is going to be the final run for the Chromatic Cube. Better than I thought we would do here. Definitely playing pretty sloppy, playing pretty tired. I've been playing pretty sloppy for the whole Chromatic Cubes, but because I'm just trying to have a fun time and play some nonsense, and we certainly did that today. 5-color Gyruda. Don't know if it's the best strategy ever, but we got a positive win rate with it, which is pretty nice. And I do think Gyruda is actually a lot easier to companion in Cube than it seems, because in Cube, all of your spells are going to be powerful, period. All of the spells in Cube. So it's not that hard to just take the even mana value ones, because you're still taking good cards. So I think if we even drafted like harder around the Gyruda earlier, we would have had an even stronger deck, because I did do some bouncing around, and I got really excited about like the Golos for Golos Field of the Dead and stuff like that. So even later, I ended up taking like a Bauble and a Golos and stuff that I probably shouldn't have, since we ended up just going full Gyruda anyway. So we could have had an even better deck than this. And I know with even better plays, we certainly had a shot at changing some of those games, and with an even better deck, who knows, maybe there is a potential 5-color Gyruda deck that can go 7 wins in the Cube. I don't know, you'll have to check it out yourself. It is certainly possible, but that is going to end the Chromatic Cube drafts for me, because starting very, very soon, we have Modern Horizons 3. There is the streamer event that I will be a part of, thanks to Wizards of the Coast. They have re-upped the big streamer event thing where they're inviting a lot more people now. I didn't get into the Outlaws of Thunder Junction one, sadly, but it seems like everybody who's been in the old early access events is back for the streamer events. So I will be doing the Modern Horizons 3 early access event this time around. They call it the streamer event now. So we'll have tons of drafts of Modern Horizons 3 just around the corner, which means our time with the Chromatic Cube will be cut a little short on the channel. But that's alright. We still did some pretty spicy, pretty wild things. I wanted to play Field of the Dead at least one time before we ended it. We did. I thought playing a Karuga deck might be kind of interesting one time, and we did that as well here in the end. And in our previous drafts, we even got to play my favorite, Nicol Bolas, a few times. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for supporting the channel, as well as you for watching the video. If you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.